Today I'm going to walk you through the step-by-step procedure for completing the Inventor drawing, CAD drawing number 1. So the first thing I'm going to do that the directions ask me to do is to make sure that I go and open up Inventor Professional 2008. So I'll double click on the icon that you see right on here at the desktop, and then I'm going to go and open up Blackboard and find the tutorial that I will need. The tutorial is found on the Blackboard CAD drawings 1 through 4. In order to complete CAD drawing number 1, you're going to click on the PDF tutorial, which will give you the step-by-step directions in addition to what you're going to hear me tell you, just in case you need to look at anything that is on the drawings. So click once on the PDF. Okay, and once again you can enlarge this so that you can see better detail, and this will make things a lot easier for your viewing purposes. So Inventor is already open, and I'm going to pull that up, and you should be able to get to the screen like this where there's nothing on the screen. Close any dialog box that appears. You're not trying to open anything. You're basically going to be creating a new drawing. So you're going to go to File, New, and you're going to create a new drawing. For the first drawing we're going to be in metric, so we're going to make sure we're there on the metric tab, and we're going to scroll down until we find the standard millimeter IPT. Click OK, and a grid line will appear. Let's pull back open Blackboard just so we can see what we're supposed to be getting into. So we're going to be creating a shape right here using the line tool to create this shape. So to get started, I'm going to go back into Inventor. There's my grid space, and I will create the general shape that I saw in my Blackboard course. So it doesn't matter about sizes right now, we'll get to that later. And you will also notice that we have the X, Y, and Z coordinate system axis right here, so we can do anything we want in this quadrant. So click once on the left mouse pointer or the left mouse button, then you're going to go straight up, click, over, click, down on an angle, doesn't matter, we'll set the angle later, click, come straight down. Now this line needs to be parallel to the other side, okay? So you see two parallel signs that appear on the other side and the side that we're currently drawing, and then you trace down until you find that there is an auto snap feature which will connect the dotted line from each of these endpoints, because that is where we will create our next line. So click to anchor that last endpoint, and then one remaining endpoint all the way across, and there's the general shape. The next step that Blackboard asks us to do is to dimension using the general dimension tool, which can be found in the 2D part features or 2D sketch panel. So you can go through the 2D sketch panel to find general dimensions, but as you notice there is a D, capital letter D, standing next to it in brackets, and that basically means that there is a keyboard shortcut. So instead of hitting the tool and selecting it, I could just hit D on the keyboard. Doesn't have to be capitalized, just strike the D key and you will get the general dimension option. Okay, so I'm going to dimension this line right here, and let's go check what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be 110, so I'm going to change that to 110, highlight and change, hit enter or select the check mark. This line right here, we'll dimension that by clicking on it and dragging it out. We'll see what this one's supposed to be, 175. Enter. And we need to zoom in, so at this point let's use the wheel of the mouse, and I should say zoom out so that we can see what we have here. Okay, general dimension this side is supposed to be 45, and then this side right here is supposed to be 80. So there's our shape. We're finished with the 2D profile. So the 2D profile means that we've created the actual 2D sketch. It's just flat at this time. So we will get rid of the grid lines and we will switch our 2D into 3D, and we're going to take that profile and extrude it to give it the thickness or the dimensional appeal that we need. So we click on extrude, and click once on the surface that we need to extrude. I'm going to rotate just so that you can get an idea of how it will be extruded. Let's get to that step. And we're going to extrude to 90 millimeters. So we're going to make sure that we are extruding 90. Doesn't matter which distance it goes, whether it goes backwards, forwards, or in both directions, split at the center line or set on your 2D profile. And then we will hit enter. So let's go back in, 90, and OK. There is our shape. So that's the beginning step, which is now complete, the CAD drawing number 1. So let's save this part a while. So go to File, Save As, and this is where you want to make sure that you're naming your file to be the class period you're in. So let's say I'm in period 1, and then you want to make sure that you put your last name and then title it CAD 1. Alright, so I'm not going to save mine for now, I'll leave it as part 1, but that's okay. Next step is to take this CAD drawing that is isometric in view, and we're going to separate it into different views, 3 different principal views, the front, the top, and the right side in an orthographic drawing. So that is the second component of the Blackboard assignment for the CAD drawing 1. So we have now completed the IPT, and we will now do the IDW. So let's go back to Inventor, go to File, New, and this time we're not going to be doing an IPT. Instead, we will be doing an ANSI millimeter IDW. Hit OK. Let it load, and we will now get a piece of not graph paper, I'm sorry, but just a drawing paper. We're going to right-click on the border, delete it. We're going to right-click on the ANSI large, delete it. Now from here, I would like to change the sheet size. So the standard sheet size currently, if we right-click and hit Edit Sheet, will be set to C, which is 17 inches in height and 22 inches of width. So that's going to be a little too large for us, since that is not what a standard size sheet of paper is. We're going to go with A. A is going to be at 8.5 by 11, which is letter size. Or you could also go in and create custom size to 8.5 by 11. Okay, so hit OK once the sheet size has been selected. And from here, we are going to make sure that we are bringing in the base view of our drawing. So that's why we want the IPT in the background. Click on Base View. There's our part. We need to scale down 1 to 2 so that the part can actually fit on our drawing paper. So it's actually half the size of what it was on the actual model that we created, because when we were in the modeling part, IPT, everything we were drawing was in actual scaled 1 to 1 actual size dimensions. Now though, we're trying to dimension and prepare this for an actual orthographic and isometric drawing, so this is what we want. So I'm going to click for the front view, or I'm sorry, the front view, project the top view, so click, 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 right click, create. These are all of your principal views. Now we're going to dimension once again, so you can go to the drawing annotation panel to find the dimension tool, or just hit D for dimension. I'm going to dimension this piece right here. I'm going to do this piece right here. We're going to get an overall height. And we can get an overall width. So there are my dimensions, and then I can add my text for my name and the class period anywhere I find space. So this is where I would put period 1, my last name, and CAD 1. Okay, hit OK. Drawing is complete. Save once again, and then submit to the Blackboard Dropbox. So let's go back to Blackboard and go to Inventor Drawing 1 and submit to Blackboard. And that is it. That is all you will need to do to complete the first CAD drawing.